a car is going to be more expensive than most people's houses, it better sound like this. This is what happens when you take a very expensive exhaust and put it on a very expensive V12 Lamborghini. Welcome to probably the best sounding car I've ever driven. Welcome to the Lamborghini Aventdaor SVJ. As many of you guys know, I have made my entire YouTube career, or whatever you want to call it, mostly about tuner cars. Cars that are relatable. This is not one of those days. This is by far one of the most unrelatable cars I've ever driven. However, you're not gonna say no. So ThatDudeinBlue let me drive the SVJ Zago, but that was one of the best sounding cars I've ever driven. However, it did not have the Gintani exhaust on it. But this is Mike's SVJ, aka Street Speed 717 on YouTube. And he was like, I know you've driven the SVJ already. I know it's unrelatable, but you have to drive the SVJ with this exhaust system. Because essentially what we have today is a old school sounding Formula One car for the road. It's like they're completely different cars. It's crazy how different it sounds. The Aventdaor has come a very long way. The first generation, now in hindsight, not that great of a car. Wasn't that pleasurable to drive. But the SVJ literally fixes everything bad about the Aventdaor, at least in my opinion, except lack of visibility. You can't see anything out of these things. And the cars are also massive. 0 to 60 in the 2-second range. So this truck is bucking forward like friggin' a tree in a drag race to Mike in the SVJ. You won't launch it. 6.5 liter V12 making 770 horsepower. Might have been the best-selling Lamborghini of all time, but the SVJ feels like the soul of Lamborghini. What you and I thought Lamborghini was as a kid, the SVJ meets that standard. It's fire-breathing, it's loud, it's obnoxious. It makes everybody's day. It's yellow. Lamborghini was my poster car in my room as a child, especially the Murcielago, right? With Need for Speed Hot Pursuit 2, I loved Lamborghini and the way they sounded. But the aero, the wing, the gills, the interior feels like a fighter jet with a start button under a red switch. It meets the Lamborghini standard. And Mike, even though he has faster cars, says this is the one. It's the one that brings him the most joy, and it brings the most people the most joy. And we're in Corsa mode, which is the most extreme mode. The shifts are the most aggressive, and the suspension is the craziest. Let's get some sound off this wall. This car makes you make the face of joy driving a car. In Lamborghini, you know, this isn't the newest Lamborghini, right? Ultimate first world problem. But the Revolto doesn't have this V12 anymore. And this V12 is historic. They use this V12 basically since the beginning, since the Mira. It is at least related to that car. And that's what makes it so raw and so pure. But the turn-in of the SVJ is incredibly impressive for how big this car is. The SVJ is massive. When you're driving in like a downtown area or anything like that, you're really worried those mirrors are gonna graze somebody's parked car. The shifting of the transmission, even though it still uses that single clutch, it is really fun to drive. It adds a lot of drama in between shifts, but it's not overbearing. And no other car that I have filmed recently makes people just stop in their tracks, pull out their phone and smile. And the other Lamborghinis, I'll be honest with you, you kind of have this like sense of paranoia because you can't see very much, just like this one, but you're so distracted by how this car makes you feel that it's just undeniable that you're having a good time. The only problem though is when you're in a Lamborghini, all you want to do is be on it. You never want to be cruising. You just want to use every bit of this freaking V12 powerhouse. I would talk about the gas mileage of the SVJ, but there is no gas mileage in the SVJ. The only downside about driving a yellow Lamborghini SVJ is that you can pretty much get away with nothing. You can hear this thing from a mile away, and everybody knows where it's coming from. Everybody. The hard thing about driving a Lambo is that it's big and wide, but when you're at speed, you're happy that it's big and wide. Lamborghini! I'm just gonna drive, guys. I gotta enjoy the moment. This thing is so intense! I can't stop smiling. I can't stop smiling. Mike actually lowered this car and he said, and I quote, "I ruined it, but at least it looks good." Oh my God, this is amazing. I'm starting to get a little darty up top, not gonna lie. So we have these beautiful HRE wheels on the SVJ, but you'll notice the rear tires of the SVJ are 355s. They're freaking steamrollers, dude. But the front are 255. So it's one of the biggest drastic size changes in a staggered setup I've ever seen. Also, the wheels are very 90s-like, but they're HRE, so it's really cool. I can imagine these on like a Diablo or something. It's funny, in the ZR1, which I drove, I actually didn't have to do any of this. I'm manhandling an SVJ in a lot of ways, but it stops just in time, dude. The sound fits the character of the car, right? The scream of this V12 fits the appearance. I think it's very important for a car to have the appearance match the sound. Oh, not the cows. I can't scare the cows. It's insane what happens when you add an exhaust to this car. Absolutely barbaric. And look, I know that most of the people in the comments right now are saying, but David, I can't relate to that. It's as much as 2 houses or whatever the economy says right now. But I'm telling you, if you ever get the chance, don't be too cool to like a Lambo, dude. This has been such an incredible experience. This is what I always imagined what driving a Lamborghini was like as a kid, and it's delivering. It's delivering, man. Out of all the exotic cars that are out today, thankfully, is not a don't meet your heroes moment. I think the original Aventador actually, in a lot of ways, was a don't meet your heroes moment. The visibility was bad, the transmission didn't feel that great. It looked cool. Life-changing driving experience. Huge thanks to Mike for letting me drive this insane SVJ. Okay, so I just finished up driving the SVJ. No, you're fine. I'm not sorry. What an amazing car, Mike.
Today has been a fantastic day.
And we're not done yet. You said this is your favorite.
Favorite car.
Everything.
People
It's your
ask all the
favorite.
time. Favorite car. I know it's not the fastest. I know it's like the transmission's old and everything.
Yeah, but that's what kind of makes it fun.
It's just the character.
You know,
Yeah, it looks like this.
Yes.
It sounds like this is it. This is a cool car.
Well, Mike, thank you again.
Yes, sir.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Check it out. Bye.